living under a bridge. Ready for whatever you are. I can't even hear you. I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Yeah, yeah.
There
Can you
we
hear me
go.
now? Yeah, that's
Yep.
what I'm saying. I was trying to, I
There
was
you
trying
go.
to wait. I was trying to wait and see if because I wanted us to talk about what we had, what's going on with the meetings and everything. And I didn't, because I had to go take care of some business for the band. I had my band in the shop, and so I didn't hear
Yeah.
if you had anything to say in the closing arguments. I had to get out, or the closing comments because I had to get out the phone. You feel me? I had to get out the
Right.
phone. So I
Uh-huh.
just want to catch up with
Chop it up. I don't mind. Basically
you.
finishing
Okay.
our run now.
But now, go back into what you were just talking about just then. Though. Tell me what's going on all over again so I know.
Yeah, man. No problem. Just for the viewers, my name is Reginald Black. I'm
There you
the
go.
advocacy director for the People for Fairness Coalition. And I'm live in the field right now. We're down here, we're kind of adjacent to Southwest. We're on the southeast side. We're right off Virginia Avenue, 3rd, 4th, and 2nd Street. And we're right next to, if you can see it behind me, that's 295. That's the Southeast Southwest Freeway. And right over here, this used to be low income and public housing. He is just transformed. I mean, completely transformed. Talking about 700,000, $800,000 house, million two houses down through here, man. And then you got people under a bridge, man. So we down here, trying to give them, hygienic supplies to get them through the week, during this pandemic. Not too many people are
Okay.
doing that out here.
Okay.
You know?
I've been hearing a
Yeah,
lot about
man.
this vacant the virus, man. What is this about this vacant the virus again?
Oh, so you're talking about the vacancy virus reduction plan. So it is a
Yeah. What?
plan to help these people that we're serving right now, people who are unhoused, social distance in the form of securing 10,000 or so vacant class A, B, and C apartment units that are in the District of Columbia right now. It is an attempt to restructure how you use public commercial financing to subsidize rent, and it follows the housing first model to make sure that people get housing first and then add in the services that they would to be successful.
Well, how do you get this
So
10,000
that's
vacant
vacant the
unit
virus in
number?
a nutshell.
Where do you get this 10,000
10,000
vacant
vacant
unit number
units.
from? Yeah, where you get the number from?
So the report, so the number actually comes from the chief financial officer, Office of the Chief Financial Officer, OCFO. And his office produced a report that looks at different varying factors in the District of Columbia. In that report, it looks at commercial vacancies and rental space and what is being occupied. It looks at apartment rentals and what is being occupied. And so in that report, you will see that there is 10,000 or so vacancies. You know, it's not an exact 10,000 because some of the units were still in development at that point. But as you look at construction and everything in the city, this will equate to 10,000 vacant units in the District of Columbia. We built a significant portion of those units with public subsidies. We've discounted land deals and disposition deals, and then we've also given them gap financing and operational subsidies in the form of the LSRP, or the local rent supplement program. But still, you have an annual demand for shelter last year, same time as this report came out, December 2019. Annual demand for homeless services was 10,245 unique households. Unique households. That doesn't really get at number of persons. So we're looking at, almost 15, 16,000 people who are homeless in DC right now. You got
Right.
10,000 units, including studios, efficiencies, one, twos, and three bedrooms. And we really
Tell
have a
me,
descent in 3 bedrooms. Because all the buildings that you see being built in this city, they top out at like 2 bedrooms. So, we call for the city to be more innovative in how we help people protect themselves against this deadly virus out here. We know that 42.1% of all homeless persons have an underlying health condition. So why do we have 10,000 vacant units, especially in a pandemic? We need to use them. We need to use them. They're empty. And if you know anything about taxes, right? Even as a commercial entity, let's say you're a rental entity, property manager, right? Landlord. You're not being taxed on the emptiness of a unit. You're being the income that you make throughout the year, plus any tax formula that you may have gotten from the city. So if you got an abatement, you got an exemption, or if you're in a tax incremental financing formula deal, which we call TIF, you get to write all that off, plus the taxes on what you have spent. You know what I'm saying? What you have made during the year. So people are basically banking a profit off of our tax dollars. And we got people out here, in the homeless community specifically. We actually, I don't know what the numbers are today, but the last time there was 300 and at least 35 people who actually tested positive for the coronavirus. That's dismal. That's disappointing. We've lost over 20 people in the homeless community. And you find them in situations like we just came from. They are living under a bridge. I don't know if people can see it. I'm going to show it right here. I don't know if people can see it too much. That's 3rd and Virginia Avenue. That shouldn't be. That shouldn't be. That is not cool. Why are they out there like that? Why do they have to live like that? We find out that just having a job, that don't equate to you having housing. It really don't. It don't equate to you having housing. It really don't. And these people been living here for a minute. They got complaints. And they before the health emergency, they were going to remove them, much like what happened in K Street Northeast. They were going to just push them out and make it so that they couldn't come here. And this is what people in encampment search for, stuff like this, to protect them from the weather. This, where I'm at, there's 695 and 395, the overpass, the Southeast Southwest Freeway. So when it rains, their stuff is protected because of the existence of the bridge and the overpass. So where are they going to go if you remove them? Where do they go? We actually have caps on shelter right now where they're talking about some of our overflow right now is at capacity. At capacity. We contracted hotel rooms, wait lists of over 300 people that literally were referred and accepted a hotel placement. So we have all kinds of problems in this city in terms of containing this virus, especially with low income and poor people in this city, especially with the unhoused. They're just out here, everything's closed.
Hey, can you do a favor for me? Delve into how really, truthfully, a lot of these developers got these tax abatements on the front end, which really builds into the point of them kind of holding on to these apartments on the they know nobody's really renting high end apartments right now. Can you dive into that a little bit more?
Yeah. So as a business, right, the IRS doesn't if you're actually renting an apartment. So your taxes on they add in
back up from your mic a little bit, Reggie. You're chopping up. You got to back up from your mic a little bit.
So when you get a tax formula like an abatement or an exemption,
Right.
you get that added
Right.
to your overall tax return as a deduction. So whatever I'm not sure what the match dollar rate is for that, but you get a match dollar rate basically on your tax return. So for every dollar that you spend in taxes as an individual, you get that equivalent back plus any deductions that they let you have initially. Same
Right.
thing with commercial taxes, but those come in the forms of abatements and exemptions. An abatement is there's a certain level of tax removed as a deduction, and an exemption is this is the level of tax that you would have to pay, but you don't have to pay it. But you can submit all of the documentation of that to the IRS, and they will give you the equivalent of all of that money, including
Right.
what you're paying income taxes and Medicaid and all that other stuff as a commercial business. So they don't look
Right.
into, as a property owner, they don't look into are you renting the whole building. They're just going to tax you on the money you made. When you pay that, you get that back, and you also get any other tax deduction formulas that the city may have given you throughout the course of the tax year. So
Right.
basically, people is making money off our tax dollars. Then they turn around. Not only do they give you a tax abatement or exemption, but then they give them gap financing for stuff. Then they give them land disposition deals, the equivalent of some spaces get the equivalent of $1 per square foot or $10
Right.
per square foot, so that they can subsidize the actual construction. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So developers and all them types of people be acting like they don't have money because they got to spend X amount of dollars to acquire a site. But then not only do your tax dollars subsidize the land deal through the disposition agreement, but then they turn around and give them operating subsidies like the LSRP. Those are vouchers. Gap financing from DHCD. That's your tax money. Then they also include in there an abatement or an exemption. So you get the equivalent of some sort of tax value as a deduction, a higher deduction. And you can apply to the IRS on all of that money and get a tax return equivalent to a certain match dollar rate on that. Sometimes it may be 5, 6 to 1. So for every $1 you pay in taxes, they'll give you 6 back. So they're making money off your taxes. That's what they're doing. They're making money off of it. Plain and simple.
And they're holding a lot of these like explain the A, B, and C apartment thing again.
Yeah.
The
So
different levels of
class A is
apartment.
like your
Hey, you chopping up again, man. As your mic, you got to back up from your mic a little bit. Wait a minute, Reggie, I can't hear you. You're not coming through clear. A little bit better, a little, but not much better. I don't know if. Okay, we'll be back shortly. This is 24/8 radio on my political side, man. You know, I'm out here in the streets for real. Yeah, I'm trying to help y'all with what we got going on, but I'll be right back. Yeah.